Okay, take two. Thank you for joining me on day 7 of 30 ways, 30 days. These are 30 ways that you can enhance, improve, design your own life. Thank you so much for joining me. I've had just some amazing feedback from many of you over the last week or so that I've been doing this. And let me tell you one of my goals. One of my goals is to get the 30 days out to 30,000 views over the next, 23 days or so that we have left. And one of the, on Thanksgiving Day, we actually had over 3,000 views on one particular day. So, hey, if you see a heart, if you see a like, and you want to be involved, please like, heart, do whatever you like to do. Today we're going to talk about something that when you come up with 30 ways to improve your life, something that you really want to make sure you focus on is something that is talked about a lot. In fact, there was a movie in 2006 released called The Secret, where they talked about one topic, one subject, and it's called the law of attraction. I was just watching a Brian Tracy piece, if you can Google Brian Tracy and law of attraction, a few minutes just to solidify some of my ideas before I did this. Brian said that the law of attraction says that you will attract the people, ideas, and resources that are in harmony with your most dominating thoughts. Very interesting. Let's say that again. Brian Tracy says that you will attract the people, ideas, and resources that are in harmony with your most dominating thoughts. So the first thing that tells me is we probably should change, or at least take a good look at our most dominating thoughts and ask us, what are we attracting? And, some people after watching a video like this or watching The Secret might say, I'm going to start using the law of attraction. Well, guess what? We're already using the law of attraction every single day. In fact, if you look at your life right now, and you look at your finances, if you look at your love life, if you look at your business, your health, everything that really is important to us, we have attracted everything into our life. Now, you might like to hear that, you might not like to hear that, but it's certainly true. And let's see who's joining us. I see my brother John Wynn. What's up, John? Hey, Megan, how are you out in Oregon? William, good to see you, buddy. Diane Lavera out in Arizona. My buddy Nick out in Kentucky is on as well. Guillermo Rubio out in California. And let's see who else we got. Christopher is on. Timur Halligan, every day, man. You're like my best student. Mary Lynn is on. David and Chuck and Greg Smith as well. So if you want to like anything that you see during the broadcast, I certainly appreciate it. Many of you, especially my friends Timur and Lynn, Mary Lynn as well, have been sharing this every single day, and I appreciate it, to allow me to speak with the people that are your most important asset. That's your, you're not just your Facebook friends, but people that are your inner circle, your circle of influence, if you will. So today we're going to talk about the law of attraction. I already said it, but I'll say it again, that we will attract into our lives the people, ideas, and resources that are in harmony with our most dominating thoughts. So first, what we want to do is make sure that our most dominating thoughts are working for us, not against us. On the first day, I talked about developing success habits, and one of the things that we talked about, my hair's a little wacky today. I'm using a new hair gel. If you like my hair, give me a like or a love. It's a little weird. Got to get a haircut this week. But you want to make sure, in day 1, we talked about developing success habits. What are you focused on? And so what I asked you to do, and some of you may or may not have seen episode 1, but if you've ever seen me speak, this is one of the main things I talk about, is getting your day started right and making sure that the first things that you're dealing with in the morning are your notebook or your journal, and that you're writing down 10 to 15 things that you want to have in your life. What do you want your health to be like? Right? So if we're attracting what we're thinking about most of the time, and you're thinking about great health, fantastic. If you're thinking about your business, fantastic. Let's talk about relationships, or maybe attracting people into your business. Very similar, right? So if you want to attract somebody into your business, what kind of people do you want in your business? I often meet people that say, boy, everybody on my team is lazy, they don't work, if I could ever get anybody to do anything. And when you think about that, what other kind of things are you attracting into your life? Well, guess what? You've attracted them by the person that you've become. They were attracted to working with you, right? One of our best success stories in our company that we work with is we wound up recruiting this guy that wound up being, just in 6 months, he was the top recruiter in our entire company. He earned a 6-figure ring in less than 6 months with our company. Went on to just break company records and led us to some of our biggest leaders that we have in our organization. One day we were sitting down and I asked him, Dave, his name was Dave, why did you sign up with my brother and I, my partner came, why don't you sign up with us? And he said, you know what? I was looking for somebody that wasn't done yet. I was looking for somebody that was ambitious. I was looking for somebody that was not looking for mediocrity. I was looking for somebody that was on their way to the top and they weren't slowing down. That's the kind of person that I wanted to work with. And guess what? If we hadn't been doing those things, we wouldn't have attracted this guy and hence been on our way to the top. So let's talk about the business. What are the 5 qualities that you would like to attract in a business associate? Do you want somebody ambitious or somebody that's lazy, right? Do you want somebody that's hardworking? Do you want somebody that's a big thinker? Do you want somebody that's positive? Write down all these qualities, and the next time you're at a networking event, the next time you buy some leads, the next time you do whatever you do to build your business, look over this list and say, these are the kind of people that I'm attracting into my life. And of course, what's the opposite of that? The opposite is if you ask somebody how they're doing and they are complaining or they are worrying. Complaining and worrying are 2 very good examples of using the law of attraction not to get what you want. I once saw a sign on a billboard. It said that worry is negative goal setting. Isn't that good? Worry is negative goal setting. In other words, when we worry, we're focused on the results that we don't want to have happen. And again, we tend to attract our most dominating thoughts. And so if we're worried and we're complaining, you ever meet somebody and all they do is complain? And you got to be careful about getting into business with those people because you'll be the one that they'll be complaining about soon. So you want to make sure that you eliminate those things. On another day, I'll talk about Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn does a great job of talking about the diseases of attitude. And he talks about, things like complaining and worry and doubt and indecision. And he talks about their diseases. And once you got a little bit, it tends to attract more into your life. So today we're talking about the law of attraction. Let's talk about relationships. You ever meet somebody and they're like, I just can't find anybody, and I might just have to settle for somebody and stuff like that. Guess what? There are billions of people in the world, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of them that can make you happy and would be exactly what you were looking for, and you're probably exactly what they're looking for, right? So the first thing is that you got to become better. You want to, Jim Rohn always said to attract, we must become attractive. And so if you're looking for a certain amount of qualities, don't you think that the other person's looking for a certain amount of qualities as well? And so what you want to do, in my opinion, this is just advice, and that's hopefully why you're watching, is to just get some good ideas that I'm sharing, is to write down the qualities that you want. I'm looking for somebody that is beautiful on the inside and out. I'm looking for somebody that's generous. I'm looking for somebody that's in great shape. I'm looking for somebody that's ambitious. I'm looking for somebody that's independent. I'm looking for somebody that cares a lot about other people. And make that list, and I'm going to tell you, you'll be way more likely to attract somebody like that into your life. And then start to look at that list and say, what am I attracting? Am I these qualities? Could I be more generous? Could I be in better shape? Could I care more about other people? Could I be a better listener and stuff like that? I was watching that Brian Tracy speech, which was only about 4 minutes. Thank you for all those likes and hearts the other day. And he said that life gets better on the outside when it gets better on the inside. So first we got to get it better on the inside, and then we'll tend to attract things to get it better on the outside. He also said that you will be like a magnet. And in the law of attraction, if you take iron and you take a magnet, it's a law. They're attracted to each other. It's the same thing. When you're constantly focused on what you want to have in your life, you'll constantly attract people like that. And he said we will always tend to attract the people in our life that we deserve based on our personal and professional development and how far we've come. Isn't that interesting? So if you want to have a better business, if you want to have better relationships, if you want to have better health and all these things, it all starts up here mentally, working on our mental game as well. And, on day 2, we talked about the law of, and these are laws, we talked about the law of associations. This is a great example. The law of associations basically says that we become like the people that we spend the most amount of time with. But again, our dominating thoughts will attract us to those people initially at the same time. So I'm getting a whole bunch of likes today. Let's see who else has joined us. I see David Sheehan. David, good to see you. I'll skip down because I said hello to a bunch of you guys already. Ben Notini, what's up, buddy? Ben, if you're still watching, give me some likes, bud. Ben is, hey, there he is, my man. I got Mylene on as well. Galen, how are you? It's great to see you. Congratulations on your beautiful family. I'm just so excited for you. Been watching you on Facebook. And Lynn, thanks for watching. My brother Mike is watching. Mike, you better get ready. Football starts in about 15, 20 minutes, buddy. And I gave it, Wayne is on from Long Island. My buddy Mike Armstrong. Mike, I hope you're doing fantastic. Good to see you. Brody Hunter. Brody, how you been? Long time. Eric is watching. Eric Schaus is watching as well. Hey, man, hope you've been well. Eric, if that's the same Eric. Eric actually did a joke. He's a stand-up comedian. If it's the same Eric that I think about the movie The Secret a couple of years ago, and it was one of my favorite jokes because at the time I had been a big believer in The Secret, and he basically just did a joke that he welcomed everybody to his HBO special because of everything that you thought about really came into being and stuff like that. Probably didn't deliver it the way that he did, but it was great. I see Rosalie from California. You know, Rosalie's a great example. Rosalie's a friend that I met on an airplane a couple of years ago. She was on her way to a personal development seminar. I was on the way to a personal development seminar. We started talking. She has an amazing story, and I believe we sort of attracted each other to become friends because we were both in the pursuit of greatness. We're both in the pursuit of improving our current situation. So Rosalie, it's great to see you. My great friend Marilyn Blair. Marilyn Blair is also somebody that I attracted into my life. She actually put a business card on the bulletin board once, and I took off that business card. There were hundreds of business cards that day, but I only took a few, and I probably only called one. I called her, and I said, what are you doing for lunch? I'd like to share with you what I'm doing. And she actually heard about the company that I was working with, and we wound up being business partners literally for the last 12 years. So a lot of people that I've met, Tony Harrell, I believe Tony is also a great example of the law of attraction. Tony was really looking for something, and I actually posted on Craigslist down in his area, Myrtle Beach, and he responded, and we wound up getting together, and we're working together now. So Lise McDonough, hey, nice to see you. Anita Robinson, Jim Vaughn is watching. Elaine, I got your text. I'll get back to you in a little while. Thank you for reminding me to get that to you. But again, today, guys, what we're talking about is we're talking about the law of attraction. Now, I'm certainly not going to give you everything in the world today that you need to know about the law of attraction, but I just want to open up your mind that what we think about comes about. We become our most dominating thoughts. And really what I want you guys to get during this 30 ways in 30 days is to focus on what you want, to write it down, to affirm it, visualize it. Visualize it is probably one of the best things that you can do for the law of attraction. Again, what do some people do when they're worrying is they actually visualize what they don't want to see happen. Hey, what if this happens? What if it happened? What successful people do is they visualize exactly what they want to see happen. There's a great book called Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy, and Brian Tracy actually walks through visualizing, and he talks about how long you do it, and he talks about when you're visualizing that you want to incorporate as many of the different senses as possible. You know, from like say for instance, you're visualizing at your next company convention that maybe you're the top salesperson in the company or something like that. What's it like backstage? Who's backstage? What sounds are back there? You know, what is it? You know, maybe you smell somebody's cologne. You know, what's going on back there? My friend Galen, who I referenced, I took a course of Galen's in North Carolina a couple years ago, and I still to this day read the affirmations that we did as part of that exercise. She had us literally write down the 10 or 15 qualities that we want to be, and one by one, you know, I am, you know, whatever it is, I'm divinely guided in all that I do, you know, was an example of one of them. But reading those things over, that is a great example of the law of attraction. But guess what? It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by focus, and it happens by effort, and it happens by consistency of doing it all over and again. So what I want you to do is think of one of your goals. What's one of the goals that you'd like to accomplish over the next 30, 60, or 90 days? And sometime today, I just want you to close your eyes for a few minutes. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to relax, and I want you to focus on that particular goal, and I want you to act like you're there. I want you to, in your mind, envision that you've already accomplished this goal, you know, whether it's a relationship goal, a business goal, whatever that goal is. But imagine it that it's already accomplished, and the more that you do it, the more likely it is to come true. The longer you do it, the more likely it is to come true. The more things that you can see in it, the more people, the more real it becomes for you, the more likely it is to become true. Focus, absolutely. Activist success was there. Hey, Galen, it was a blast. And just so you know, that was one of the most impactful seminars. If you can see Galen right here, she does amazing work, recently opened up her own catering and restaurant business in the Wilmington area, and I know you'll continue to be mega, mega successful. So, Just in review, what we're talking about today is getting in the habit of writing down your goals every day, is writing down or is going over your affirmations, is attracting and focusing on exactly what you want to have in your life. And so my name is Steve Melia. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you today. Guys, my goal is to get my message out to 30,000 people in 30 days or 30,000 views. And I'm doing pretty good. I'm probably averaging about 800 views a day. But as a thank you to me, what you could do for me is you could just share this post. Just reach down right now and share. I've been getting an average of about 18 to 20 people sharing. My big day was Thanksgiving when I offered a free copy of my book, one of my books, and you guys shared my post 60 times. So certainly do appreciate that. And let's see if we have anybody new that's joined that would like to say hello. If you're getting value out of my 30 ways in 30 days, like now, love now. My sister Mary is watching. Mary, it's great to see you. Mary's somebody that can definitely attest. She watched my brother and Michael go from really a rags to riches story, and if you ask her what the difference was, she would probably just say that we were mentally focused all of the time, that we wanted success so bad. And so the law of attraction's got to start with desire. You know, if you don't want it and you don't believe it and you're not certain that it's going to come to pass, you're probably not likely to attract it into your life. But again, we become our most dominating thoughts. We become what we think about most of the time. And I ask you, Facebook, what are you thinking about most of the time? Are you thinking about getting past that finish line? Are you thinking about getting that promotion? Are you thinking about getting that raise? Are you thinking about, having a family? Are you thinking about saving for your kids' education? I'm telling you, the news, the media, everything else around us is pretty negative. Can we all agree with that? CNN stands for constant negative news. And if you were just to sit and watch, it's negative, 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 negative. What I want you to do is not start your way that day, okay? One of the main results I'd like you to get out of 30 ways, 30 days is to start your day every single day by focusing on something that's positive, right? Focus on something that's positive. I was also watching a little Tony Robbins before, and Tony was really, he gave an example. He's also talking about law of attraction, and Tony Robbins was talking about Andre Agassi, how when he started working with him, he was like number 32 in the world, and he had been number 1. And so my friend Timmer's watching. He's a tennis pro here. Probably liked this story. Probably heard this story. But Tony met with him, and Andre was not very excited to be working with Tony. He's like, I don't need to be motivated, do your thing. And Tony said, well, let me just ask you a couple questions. Have you ever hit a tennis ball perfectly? And Andre Agassi said, well, sure, I've hit it perfectly. And he goes, I want you to close your eyes right now, and I want you to imagine that you're hitting that tennis ball perfectly. So what he did is he got him back to a place and time where he knew exactly what he was doing was the right thing to be doing, and he kept him in that space, and he kept him focused in that space. Of course, there was some other things that went along with it, but that was it. So what I want you to do is think back to a time of your life where everything was clicking, where everything was working. One of the best things that you can do when starting or continuing your path of personal development is think back to a time where you did great. I mean, we've all had successes, right? We've all had milestones in our life. Think about the different milestones. For me, it was when I did one of my most things I'm most proud of, I guess, is when I committed to do the 162, and then I spent 6 months writing the book, and I published it within a year and stuff like that. For me, it was a milestone. For sometimes when I don't feel like getting out of bed, or I don't feel motivated and stuff like that, I think back to times where I did accomplish something, and it helps me get through other challenging times. So think back into a time in your life when you did something and it just worked out really well. So I know my brother Mike is looking for a football pick. As many of you know, I'm a sports fanatic, so the Sunday games are starting soon. There's a lot of big spreads out there. Philadelphia is favored by 14. That's too many points. I'm not going with that game. Kansas City's favored by 10.5. I'm leaning towards that game, but I wouldn't go for that game. New England's favored by 17. 3 games right there with double-digit spreads. So, guys, what I'm going to recommend you do if you want to make a couple of bucks today, I do not recommend gambling, but my tip of the day for you football fans is go for the over in the Philadelphia game. Go for the over in the Philadelphia game. I believe it's 43.5 as of a few minutes ago. So if you want to make a couple bucks today, you don't even have to send me any. Go for the Philadelphia Eagles and the over in today's game. So that was just my little tip for the day. Lynn, I'm going to end with a quote from Lynn. You can't get to your dream, you must come from it. In order to come from it, you must become it. I love it. We become our most dominating thoughts, right? We become what we think about most of the time. What are you thinking about? Facebook world, thank you. Please share this with your friends today and get the word out. 30 ways, 30 days that you can enhance, improve, design your own life. Hey, you're the author of your own life. Take authority. You're the author. Turn a new page. Today can be different than yesterday. Tomorrow can be different than today, but we got to take action, right? Doing leads to doing, waiting leads to waiting. We become like the people that we spend the most amount of time with. Guys, I can't wait to share with you some of my ideas tomorrow. Thanks for joining in. Have a great Sunday. God bless, and bye-bye for now.